again, welcome to the vlog. What we're going to be doing is talking about feed Stimulants, which is a company in Holland who sent in the box several weeks ago, and I wasn't in a situation where I could actually do the vlog talking about the baits. Enjoy the rest of the vlog. So what is Feed Stimulants? Well, it's a company who develop and sell ingredients for making bait. Now, I don't tend to make a lot of baits, so I'm not qualified in depth to talk about these kind of things. So my friend Graham understands baits a lot better than I do. Here's the thing. When you actually look at baits, people get a little bit kind of argumentative. They talk about baits like it's a passion, because making bait is a passion. It's something that people study, enjoy, and at the end of the day, catching their own baits, and that's the result. That is why people make their own baits. They just want to be different from everybody else. I get that. I know you get that too. Let's go and have a chat with Graham. Right, got a load of bait here now. This is Graham. Now Graham's brought, I can only describe this as an encyclopedia. Right, look at that. It's a tenth of this encyclopedia. Reason for that is, bait isn't simple, and if you can imagine, it's all physics, isn't it? Would you say it's physics?
Bioscience.
Bioscience. Biosciences. And that kind of thing.
I'm only saying that because I've got a friend who's a bioscientist and he helps me out as well. So.
Well, that makes sense. That's why you learnt a lot. Because who taught you how to make bait, Graham?
Simon, Quality Baits. Obviously, he knows a load of stuff.
Yeah.
I've known him for 20 odd years. I've read loads and loads and loads of white papers. Tim Richardson's really good. Pete B, sorry I don't know your last name, mate, but I've learnt quite a lot off you as well. You're quite fixed in how you do your bait. That's really good. Sean, the mate, I think it's a biochemist, or I'm not sure. He's a trained scientist, biologist or something, but he knows all about his enzymes. He's done loads of things on that, and he's really good for that. About 9 years ago, I was off work with an illness for about 9 months. I couldn't go outside really easy, and I couldn't go fishing. So I'd got lots of time on my hands sitting at home. So it was sort of at that point where I decided, well, I've got nothing else to do. So I decided to go on the internet, trawl the internet, look at loads of white papers. There's loads of them around. Some of them are no use, obviously, but you have to read them all and get the information that suits you. So that's what I did for 9 months. I was doing lots of reading, lots of checking. I did some testing on some fish in a tank, and that's sort of made a big difference from where I was before and where I was now, and that's sort of like 9 years ago. So
you could say Graham has put the work in. He's took the time and effort and dedication to try and learn what he learns about bait now. And it might not be perfect, you know, because like you just said, it's down to discussion, isn't it? Everything's down to discussion. And Graham mentioned something about amino acids to me many years ago, and I've been trying to understand the point of amino acids, and it's not an easy conversation. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that just yet. We're going to talk about what we've got in here in this box from Feed Stimulants.
Right, I've got a simplistic way of looking at bait, okay? I'll split it into a few different ways. First, amino acids.
Yeah.
Then I'll talk about lipids, which are fats. Then I've got vitamins, and then carbohydrates.
Right.
All of them sort of make up most of your bait. I'll sort of 90-95% of all bait. All the other bits, well, we'll talk about at another day.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. amino acids. Right, amino acids are basically what make up a protein. Proteins are made up of different types of amino acids held together in peptide chains. These chains sometimes are really long and sometimes are really short. The best sort of protein available at the is beef, but that's no good for carp fishing because carp haven't got a stomach, so they can't digest it. So you were sort of looking at fish, chicken's quite good, anything like that that have got smaller chains of amino acids.
Yeah.
Amino acids are things that they're feeding triggers for carp. All right. So sugars are also simple sugars are detectable by carp. There's loads of things that we're using bait. Most of them are more investigative rather than stimulants.
Yeah.
Okay. So for looking at these first, I've looked at they've got an amino acid compound, which really good stuff.
So what we've got here, we've got the amino compound powder, summer. So there's winter and summer, is it?
They do winter and summer. I don't really use the different ones. I don't think they're very much. Lots of people vary between summer and winter baits and things like this. We'll get to that bit later when we talk about lipids and things like that. But for me, carp just eats less, and that's just the way I deal with bait. I don't sort of, oh no, it's got to be a bird food and all that, because I'm not really into that sort of thing.
No.
So
is that because physics dictates that, or is just
a fish still need amino acids, and the best way of getting amino acids, there's fish meal or there's bird food, but if you've got to pick one or the other, I always go bird food.
Yeah.
And then each one's got a profile, and you need to adjust the profile slightly to give what the carp actually needs. If you go fish meal, you might need 50% of the base mix, then you might have only 5% or 10% of the milk protein. There's loads of different milks, but they've all got the same profile. The profile of a carp, what a carp requires, you just basically look at different fish meals, pick them, pick that, get the magic figure, and there you go.
How would you get to the magic figure? Would that through testing and sampling?
I know what a carp needs, and basically it's sort of 38% protein, which is made up of amino acids. Yeah. So if you get these amino acids to hit the 38%, great. What happens is if you go too high, then you're just wasting it. You're wasting money, which everyone goes, oh, you can't do that. But I've always found it's always quite good to go a little bit over. If you go under, then you get something that's first limiting amino acid, and then that starts to get a whole new ball game of basically, as soon as you limit on one of the essential amino acids, as soon as you get to that point, then the carp can't digest any of more of your bait. Yeah. So whatever else you put in there is wasted. These are all done on tank tests. So you imagine if you're in the middle of a lake fishing with loads of different people.
So that excites me because we talk about pre-digested things as well, and sometimes because it's not got a stomach, I find that, especially in the tank, the fish will feed on its own poop again because they must sense that there's still nutrients you can take from that.
Yeah, I mean, if they've limited their amino, if they've got 38% and that's all they can take out of the food per kilogram, then what ends up is that comes up in their poo, and basically the poo's still got it in. Yeah. So, it's only when they become deficient and you're only feeding them on one missing amino acid from the essential amino acids, which is about 10 essentials, 22 amino acids that you normally get. Yeah. There's 22 amino acids, 10 of them are essential, and that's what the carp has to have because it can't make them themselves. All the other ones it can. So basically you're going to do look for these 10 amino acids and make it so that your bait covers all of the 10 amino acids in the right amount that it needs to make the bait work.
Never knew that. So we learn something every day. So what's next? What other thing do you want to look at?
Well, they've got loads of things, like green lip mussel is, you know, green lip mussel, your liver powders, these are all based on fish meals, or they're used for really high protein. This is a fish meal, obviously, green lip mussel. It's quite expensive to put in a bait, and I haven't really found it worth putting in for the cost, to be honest. I'm not really I use it a lot for my stick mixes. I use it a lot for adding onto baits, because it's a good stimulant. But if you imagine you've put 30 grams or 50 grams in a boilie of a kilo, sealed it up with an egg, I don't think it's doing it. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it works so much. I've never found it work when I've tried them up against each other in fishing situations where I fish one bait with and one without. I've never actually found it, but I found it really, really good stuff when you put it in like a stick mix, or put it on top of boilies that I'm putting out.
Well, that makes sense, like you put liver powder over boilies.
Yeah, liver powder, you use it exactly the same way.
So that's the whole purpose of green lip mussel. Realistically, from a bio
well, I mean, it's expensive. I mean, this is, I think it works out as 15 quid, something like that at the moment, £15 for a kilo. And if you're putting 50 grams in, I don't think it's doing anything. So you're going to put 150 grams in, then
it's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
But it's a good product, that. But what we're going to do is we're going to put that on the shelf, aren't we, for just normal everyday fishing?
I would definitely use it for stick mixes. I would definitely use it for coating your baits with. Before you put it. It's to stimulate the fish. It's a good trigger to get them feeding first. Betaine.
I've used this in blocks.
I've never seen it in block. Well, there again, this is probably turned into block as well, because it does go quite hard. It is hydroscopic.
Have a look. Let's have a look.
So it's hydroscopic. So you need to keep the lid on. Don't take your fishing with you and leave it open, because you'll just get water. It's a white crunchy powder. People don't rate it. They talk about putting 20 grams in. I'm not sure what these rate it as, but I found, like, I fish a lot of paste, and
this is 10 grams or 20 grams per
I've gone 100 grams.
Have you?
In a paste, I've gone 100 grams.
So that's another additive.
Betaine HCI. It's fine. It's great. It's good stuff. The only thing is, it's really hard. That's why I always think of things like, this is hydroscopic. So you put it in a boiler. Put it in boiling water, boil it.
Explain what I can't say it.
Hydroscopic. Basically, if you leave it out, it attracts water.
Right.
So if you left that out, and the humidity in just normal air, it would take it would soak up. So you need to keep it sealed.
So that's what that word means. It's like Sesame Street. Sesame Street. Sesame Street.
Yeah. So that's really good stuff. I rate it a bit more than other people do.
What next?
We've done them. We're not going to talk about amino enzymes quite yet. Okay. Go on, you can say that one.
I can't say that one. I'm terrible. Tomatic.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'll just call it talin, because that's sort of another word for
liquid tomatic, talin.
Yeah. Really, really, really strong. I think 2,000 times stronger than sugar.
Right. Oh, okay.
So it's really sweet, and it won't kill you. So you've got sweet to think.
Yeah. Because I'd be the one.
So that's alright. It's not a lot. It's really sweet. It's bittersweet as well, really.
Well, I like that. It's normal for me. I have 3 sugars.
Well, that's what I said. So it is really. You see, that's really good. That's something else that.
Now I'm wishing I didn't.
That can go. It's a bit of a light kick. That can go in.
Yeah.
But also that can go. I mean, people with zigs, things like that. They
dip. Right. Now you're talking fisherman's language. You see.
Well,
this is what that is.
You get betalain. Some company does betalain.
Yeah, I get that. Well, that. So you can keep that in your tackle, couldn't you? That's one to go in your tackle, definitely.
Well, betalain is basically betaine.
Yeah.
And talin. Betalain.
Yeah. Why does that give it a daft name though?
Well, no, because that's the scientific name. There's loads of different ways. Yeah. So some people, they dilute it different ways, and that's what they call it their own talin. Which they call it talin because we can't pronounce what it actually is.
I can't pronounce it.
Sweet cherry. Now this one's a new one for me. I would probably, if I was at home now, I'd get a pH tester and do a little bit of a check with the pH and that on it, just to see what it is. So, because as I said earlier, pH is pH is an investigative trigger. This is one of the ones that it's not a feeding trigger. It's an investigative trigger. It's
just
a pH
what's
change
that
in the water.
smell? Yeah.
Well, it's not smell. It's literally a change in pH. A normal lake 7.4, something like that.
Okay, I'm with you.
So, sort of a really good figure for is sort of 5.5 is really good. There's certain things that go down to like 2s and 1s, but you have to be a bit careful.
pH is also depending on the part of the lake, whether it's shallow or deeper water.
Normally to do with the bottom of the lake, but they don't vary.
Not that much.
They don't. A sort of one lake tends to be the same. There's a little bit of variation between obviously margin and out in the middle, but they're 7.4 is normal. I mean, yeah. So I've always found acid better.
Right.
So I always, if in doubt, go on acid.
Go on acid. Right.
Go, which is less than 7. So
what we're looking at next then?
Okay, we've done that. We're not going to talk about enzymes.
Got an enzyme there actually.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that afterwards.
What's this one?
Okay.
I've done that one.
We'll talk about the acid. Right then. Vitamin compound. Now, there's two ways of looking at this. We either design a bait with it in, which isn't. Some lakes respond good to adding vitamin stimulants in it, depending on the lake bottom.
Yeah.
I'd imagine gravel pits. Probably not, because there's probably a lot of minerals in there.
Yeah.
You've got day ticket water. This is good stuff to put in. Day ticket water, clay bottoms, somewhere where they haven't got, somewhere where they're not going to get nutrients from.
So, what, you mean you put this in the bait? You put in.
I would put it as I would add it to a bait to make sure that
multivitamin compound.
The vitamins that a carp needs are actually. You're giving them what they need, just in case your bait hasn't got exactly the wrong amount of vitamins.
And would the carp be able to detect that?
Only when they've eaten it.
Right.
But that's just as good. You know, they eat it. Oh, okay, that was good. Oh, okay, you know. Then they come back and they come back and they come back. So you're building.
So they get the natural buzz off that. Do they feel a natural goodness off that? Once
they've eaten it, it goes through the system. It might not be like 5 minutes later, but it will help the carp and they'll feel good from it.
Right.
And then hopefully, it's a bit like my dog training. Basically, they're associating with something good and eating something and something feeling good. So basically, they eat it again, feel good, eat it, feel good, eat it, feel good.
That's what that is.
That's it. So basically, it's exactly the same as that.
It's a little bit of an edge when you're making bait. That's what you're saying. In the long run,
they're all. You can make a bait really cheap, and then, to be honest, it's quite hard to make a bad bait. Well, I couldn't make a bad bait now because I know the basics, and then after that, it's all about maybe you've got another 10% of vitamins and all the rest of the things you add on, and then you've got the last 10%, which is getting into the enzymes and things like this, which is going to talk about in a little while.
If you keep on wondering what that noise is that keeps it going, there's some freezers at the back of this place. This is just an area where we sit down, we talk about baits and X, Y and Z at work, but we've got some motors keep on going at the back, and I thought about switching them off. I'm not. They're going to stay on. They're just going to stay on, so they'll come on. We'll just crack on with that.
Okay.
Next.
Right, liquid enzyme treated yeast. Now this doesn't mean it's got enzymes in it now. Basically it means it's been treated with enzymes. There's two ways of treating yeasts, liver and all the rest of the thing. You can either use acids or you can use enzymes. Acid's a bit severe way of getting it out. It does the job, but it's not as good. Enzyme treated is a lot better to do it. It's a good, really good stimulant. Yeast, everybody's been using them since day dot.
And you put this in your boilies.
You can put it in your boilies, you can put it over your boilies, it's really good. Basically when you've treated it with the enzymes, when an enzyme will release 3 aminos, but I'm not going to go into that
Yes.
2 yet. So, but yes, very good. But it is good stuff.
Yeah.
Hydro wheat is.
What is hydro wheat?
It's,
Layman's terms. Let's not get the white coat on it.
it's come out in the market. Certain companies are pushing it really heavily. I haven't had a lot to do with it, if I'm honest. I don't think it's probably any better than the CSL that I use.
Right.
So it's probably quite good because it's different, and that's always good for carp, you know.
Yeah.
But if I'm putting my hands up, I haven't really used hydro wheat.
Well, I like that because if you don't know, you don't say.
I haven't used it. I've looked at the profile. It's okay. I'd be interested to test it against the CSL that I use, which is really active.
And this is the point where I want to comment. If you know anything about wheat hydrate, yeah, then just comment below and have a discussion about exactly what it does and whether you found it beneficial towards your fishing. Because this is where it gets confrontational, isn't it? Because not many people have the same opinion about whether it works or doesn't work.
Yeah, true.
And that's where it works. What we're looking at next then?
Okay. Can I just pass me that? No,
This.
Yeah. Okay.
Crayfish meal.
Crayfish meal. It was. We looked at this when I looked at this about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was at one point it wasn't possible to bring it in the country.
Okay.
Okay, because the crayfish wasn't from the UK. There was lots of problems talked about that why we couldn't bring it in. It's not the fish meal, and what happens if there's eggs in it, and all this sort of stuff. It was quite a problem. Now you can get it. From what I've read, I haven't used it yet, but from what I've read, really good stuff. Really stimulant for carp. Carp really they dig it. So
that's a good one to put
yeah,
in
it
your
is.
bait.
Yeah. This is. There's a certain.
So I'm going to make some pop-ups later on with you.
Yeah.
Right. Can I put some of that in the pop-ups?
Well, we can put anything you want in the pop-ups. I wasn't going to bother, but I wouldn't have personally put them in.
No. Okay. Well, we won't.
But what I would say is, I'm sort of thinking you could use this for your stick mix.
Right. So that's a stick
because
mix.
I know it. I know that from what I've read, it's quite good stuff.
Stick mix. So what we're looking at is the freshwater cray meal, right? In the stick mix. That's exactly what we're going to do with that.
That could be good. Yeah, I'll definitely put this in.
What else are we looking at then? Pumpkin seed.
Protein, mate.
Protein. What's the crack with this then? What would you do with this? See, you're hesitating on this one.
I'm hesitating because, in all honesty, these tend to be quite expensive compared with fish meal.
Right.
And
so commercially, you wouldn't put this in, but if it's for your own mixing of baits, is it worth the extra?
It all comes down to when you do your mix, you need to get your 38% protein with the correct amino acid mix.
Yeah.
You can get your amino acid mix loads and loads and loads of different ways.
Right.
I've got an Excel spreadsheet or a couple of different Excel spreadsheets. You put all your ingredients, you put all this in, you look at their amino profile, write it all down, click 30 grams of that, 50 grams, 250 grams, 500 grams, and the magic button goes tick, 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 all done.
Yeah.
Okay? It is sort of, that's the basic of doing a base mix, all right?
Yeah.
And you could use it, I'm not sure how much this one costs, so I don't know. I mean, on here it says 200 to 350 grams, so
yeah.
For me, it would probably be an alternative if you didn't want to use fish meal.
Okay.
In about 20 years' time, when we've got no fish in the sea,
that could be
this might be the babu.
Yeah.
All right. So there's some companies are going that way already.
I was gonna say this could be for the vegans. Who go fishing.
Carpers. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Let's see how that works out.
Right. I'm glad you said that way. Okay. Tiger nut flour. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing a tiger nut boiler, this is really nice stuff. Smells really nice. I've used quite a lot of it in the time. When I've done bait for other people,
yeah,
and they wanted a nut mix, I've done it for them.
And that's what you've used, is tiger nut.
I've used
nut
quite a
meal.
lot of tiger nut meal, tiger nut flour.
High protein.
Yeah, it's really good protein. In the end of the day, I've just gone around full circle loads and loads of times and ended up on going to shoot fish meal with some milk and adjust it round. And
hey presto.
hey presto.
So
I've ticked all my boxes.
So that's good when you want your nut type baits, because
Yeah,
some people do go that fish meals are only for winter, old school.
Some likes. I mean, I've talked to a few people today, and they reckon that some likes are tiger nut baits are sort of the ones to go. So.
Who knows? Could be doing with the pHs and the way that the actual what's in the lake.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows how good nuts are. So,
Right. So the squirrels.
Yeah.
What we got here now? CLO. What is CLO?
It's a. Oh no, you're asking that. It's a bird food mix basically.
Yeah.
And you feed it to birds.
And that's it. So it's just ground nut and it's ground seeds.
Seeds, biscuit.
So is this
in winter time? This is the sort of thing that people would put into bird seed mixes.
Right.
If you wanted to go that way.
If you wanted to go that way, you wanted a bird food type.
If you wanted bird CLO, would
because that was a fashion in the early 90s, wasn't it?
It's still there now.
Is it?
It's still there.
Bird food was the thing, wasn't it? Bird
in
food.
winter, use bird food.
Yeah. Then in summer, still use bird food.
Yeah, I'll just go the opposite way around and fish meal, but hey.
Fish meal. See, that's what I'm saying. I'd be fish meal in the summer and a bit bird food and.
Well, in the end, the fish need to eat the same.
Yeah.
I just feed them less fish meal, and we can talk about oils in a minute, and I'll explain the controversial bit about oils. So that'll.
Now this is really back to basics, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is really back to basics.
This is probably a really high protein.
Is it?
Extract from I presume it's a salmon type fish meal extract.
Right. Okay.
So. Yeah,
How do you pronounce it? No, it's not. I read that wrong, didn't I?
Seminal.
Seminal
extract. Yeah.
Seminal extract powder. What's the benefits of this?
I haven't seen the protein level, but looking at the dosage, I'd imagine. And salmon, looking at it, I'm going to say it'll be really good protein, high amino acid level.
Right.
So it's got really good amino acids.
That ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, it's one of them. If you don't want to use milk, you want to use this, fine. Or you want to use less fish meal, you want to use some of that and 6% milk or whatever. Whichever way you want to do it, then that's sort of, as long as you tick the boxes, great. This is a different way of getting it. You probably get really good feeding triggers from it. So being salmon, anything fishy, fish meal. It's
so that's quite a good one to go at.
Interesting one to try out.
Right.
Brilliant one for my paste. I tend to fish sort of boilies and I put paste wraps.
Yeah.
Lots of paste.
And that's what you use.
Anything. When I'm doing paste wraps, I'll never use any carbohydrates or anything like that. It'll always. I won't use oils, but I really rate oils, but I rate them in. I'm a bit careful where I use them. So basically, it's milks, it's fish meal, it's things like this. Then I'd use all the other things about.
Do you know what I'm laughing at the moment?
What?
I feel like I've got a lollipop in my mouth after tasting that sweetener before.
Yeah, well, as you notice, I've only done it once and I don't do it.
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. Is it going still? Yeah.
What have we got now?
Okay, just for a bit of an interest.
Yeah.
Well, I did a bit of digging. And I showed Leon this one actually, and he was quite amazed that if you look at the profile of some of these, I've got a screen. Carl, you can put that on your screen later.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you look at it, you go bloodworm, 50% protein, 14% fat. That's perfect for carp. Everything there, larvae, mosquito larvae. There's loads of Daphne. 50% protein, 10% fat.
So when you get Daphne, there's loads of Daphne you've had it, aren't you? There's no point fishing, is
they
it?
just open the mouth, swim along, and they're taking 50% protein.
Happy days.
All day long.
Yeah.
So there's loads of these earthworms, 60% protein.
I'll read through this now, right? Daphne, water flea. Right, we've seen them, haven't we? 50% protein. Yeah? Micro worms, little tiny worms on the bottom, 40%. These are all hatches that happen, and some of my videos I've mentioned that there's been hatches going on. I might as well go home, but you know what? I made a good sausage sandwich. White worm, yep, 32%.
Oh, their fats are 60% protein.
Yeah, alright. Protein, right, so even that, yeah, 60% on white worm. 60% protein. Now, some worms have been found to have a new acid as well, which is like, there's another one that we found, but we'll not get into that. Mosquito larvae, do you know about that?
What? No.
No, right, anyway, they found a new, yeah, right, amino acid, they found a new one on 20% fat, right, so then we've also got
50% protein.
50% protein. So anything worm related is high in protein, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's say that worms, yeah?
Yeah.
A normal worm, 56%, yeah? The list goes on, doesn't it? The list goes on. And generally, you're looking at about 50% to 70%, right, without going through this. I'm going to put up at the end of the video a screenshot of this, so stop it, take a photograph with your smartphone, take it fishing with you, right, because...
Well, don't, because you probably won't fish again. Because if they're on the naturals, you know, you're talking 6% protein, which is like...
yeah, look at that one, yeah.
68% protein for...
I don't even know what a sweep netting...
No, that literally, go through a meadow and you get all of it, you sweep like that, with a net, isolate everything in there, mix it all together, it's 60%.
Do you know in May, right, when you actually got, the lake is alive, yeah, and this is what we're talking about, live, all these different insects, and they all land in the evening and the fish start feeding on the top, and you see them jumping and crashing out, and you're going, I can see the fish, they're jumping out, but I just can't buy a bite. We've all done that, haven't we?
Get on the zigs.
Get on the zigs, that's what I'm saying, because they're on them on that sweep netting through the meadow, as they call it. 68% protein.
It's just, it's carp, man, it's nature's carp food, it's perfect.
Yeah, so that's the thing. When's the best time to go fishing? January? Well, February? Middle of February?
Yeah, well, if they ate, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
It'd be perfect.
Or go and fish in a glass pond and you've cracked it.
Go and fish in a glass pond, so let's do away with the lakes and let's do swimming pools.
Yeah.
That'll do. They did one of them in Blackpool once.
Yeah,
I remember that, it didn't take on.
No.
Alright, let's go and make some bait.